Welcome to your first lesson in 1-2-3 affiliate marketing, where we're actually gonna get some work done. Yay! All right, so here's what we're gonna do. In this lesson, we're gonna discover the products that are out there that already serve your target market. It is from this list that we're gonna select the one that makes sense to start promoting first, that we're gonna use as our focus product moving forward in this course. Now, like I said before, this list that you're creating is gonna be very useful for you in the future because you're gonna have this giant list of items that you can select from when you start adding to your resources that you're gonna begin promoting. But like I said, we're just gonna pick one that makes sense, and I'll show you and guide you into that right now. For now though, and this might come as no surprise to you, we're actually not gonna start with the products first. We're gonna start with defining the problems and the goals mainly that your audience is looking to achieve. Exercise number 1, we're gonna define the goals of your target audience. They probably have many goals, and to get ready for this, grab a pen and sheet of paper just so you have it handy. We're gonna get into some more technical spreadsheet stuff in just a moment, but for now, a pen and paper will do. As you might remember from step 0, lesson number 1, a great product to promote is one that supports a person's why. So it's important for us to really understand what our audience really wants before we actually give them what they really need. So if you have a paper and pen ready, I'm gonna prompt you in just a minute. If you need to pause to go and get one, that's totally okay too. I want you to begin by just, on a list, writing down all the things that you know your target audience wants to achieve. There's likely a number of different things that they want. Just write those things down off the top of your head. You don't have to search through any computer or device right now, just what you know about that particular space that they want to achieve. Write those things down and make sure you leave room on the right-hand side of what it is that you write down for each of them, because we're gonna do something with that in just a moment. Don't think too hard about this. If you know your audience wants to achieve these specific goals, well, then you write it down. Now, if you don't know what those goals are, well, then you might have to take a little bit of time to do some research. And if you already have an audience, you can use your following on social media or your email list to just send an email out and ask questions like, well, what are you struggling with right now? Or what's your biggest challenge related to blank, the blank being the niche that you're in. That way you can get directly from your target audience, well, what is it that they need help with and what are they struggling with, which relates to their goals that they're trying to achieve. Now, just to give you an example, let's go back to that I help build websites for people example, and we'll work with that for just a moment. If what you're teaching people is how to build a website, well, then you write that down. That's something that these people would likely want. However, like I said earlier, we need to do a little bit of research to go a little bit deeper, and a very, very easy trick you can use to do that after you write down build a website, because that is kind of one surface level why, but we want to go deeper. The trick is to add on a so that to the end of that statement to get deeper. So build a website so that they can make their mark on the internet and begin building a business. So that they can have creative control and build something that is really their own. So that they can potentially achieve financial freedom from the business that they've created. You can write down each of those things, some of them being more surface level, some of them being deeper, because each of them represents a specific kind of goal that a person might want in your audience. Now, what's cool about this is, and check this out, each of these different so that's infer different kinds of products that you can then promote to this audience who was initially there, again, like I said, to just help them build a website. So number 1, they need to make their mark on the internet. That's something that they're trying to achieve. Well, what also goes along with that? It's not just building a website, but it's also all the visual and branding elements, setting up social media accounts, how to get web traffic, search engine optimization. Each of these now have different products that may relate to those goals that this person has. Number 2, they want to have creative control and something they can call their own. Well, this infers, for example, now building and actually creating a business entity and trademarking. You can see, like, we can go even further down this rabbit hole, and this one thing that started with just building a website now infers all these other potential product recommendations too. So remember, you're writing down all the different kinds of goals that your audience has, and you're using the so that trick to go even deeper to find out what other goals they might have related to that. Write them all down. There's no dumb answers or things you can write down right now, and nothing you're committing to. Just let yourself free flow through this exercise. Now, if you're struggling with this a little bit, which I know some of you might, I have a few other prompts that may help you through this exercise. Now, if your target market had a magic wand and they could just swoop, flick their wrist, floop, and be where they want to be and have what they want to have, well, what would they have? Where would they actually be if they had that magic wand? Number 2, the next prompt, what actually seems to be giving your audience the most trouble? What do they seem to be struggling with? And number 3, instead of what they're running toward, imagine what they're actually running away from. What are they trying to get rid of or remove from their lives? All right, let's pick another example to kind of help you through this. Let's pretend that you are helping people become a professional speaker, right? And let's go through these prompts. So if these people had a magic wand, what would they ultimately love to just happen right away? What kinds of things tend to be giving professional speakers the most trouble? Number 1, landing and finding potential stages to be on. Number 2, potentially negotiating the right fees and actually making it worth their time. Number 3, maybe it's the struggle of actually creating a memorable presentation, one that'll be remembered and is able to be repurposed. Final prompt, what are they running away from versus what they're running toward? Well, they're running away from bad stages or bad opportunities or wasted time. Perhaps they're speaking at too many free stages and they want to start getting paid for their work. Or maybe they're trying to run away from just poor content, or maybe they're just struggling with anxiety and nervousness and they want something they could be confident in presenting on stage. You see kind of how this works? As you can see, we're not yet at the product level, what products can provide solutions to those problems, but this is a very important step that most people who do affiliate marketing and even creating their own products skip over. So it's really good that we're going through these exercises right now. Now, at this point, after you have a number of goals written down, you might have a couple that are standing out to you right now. We'll worry about that in just a minute. Maybe you have a few written down. Maybe you have a ton written down. Just get to a nice stopping point and then move on to this next piece here, this next exercise, which is exercise number 2. For each of those goals that you wrote down, on the right-hand side, also write down, well, what might be the first steps or the first step that a person might take in order to help them achieve that goal. It's really important that we try to figure out what a person's first step might be related to that goal that you wrote down. Most people will then do affiliate marketing. They think about, okay, here's a product. It's actually step 3 or step 4 or step 10, which then doesn't enable anybody who's still at step 1 and 2 to actually get access or even want step 3 or 4 or 10 right now. So thinking about the first steps can be a game changer. This is also very handy to think about because maybe sometimes step 1 and step 2, those are free things that you can offer, value that you can add to a person's life so that they can be enabled to then get involved with step 3 or 4, which might be a product or a course or software, etc. Now really quick, a lot of people, when you ask them, well, what's the first step to achieving your goals? It's obviously committing. So let's just get that one out of the way. Don't write down committing. I think that's just one that's known for each of these things. If you know the first steps beyond committing to those goals that a person should take, if you know them, next to the goal, write it down. Let's say, for example, that you are targeting people who want to start a food truck, right? There's obviously a lot of things that go with the food truck industry. You need to buy a food truck. Before that, what happens? You need to pick a brand name. You need to decide on the colors of that food truck and understand what kind of equipment goes in there. But before that, what needs to happen? What's the first step for somebody who wants to potentially own a food truck? Well, it should be determining what your menu is going to be. What actually kind of food are you going to put into that truck and cook and serve to others? So what does that inform? Well, that informs obviously like, okay, well, what ingredients one should buy. But even before that, you want to make sure as a food truck owner that you have the right menu. So what might the first step actually be? It might actually be to host a small party with a little bit of a test menu to get some feedback on the menu items that might end up living on your truck. So imagine as a bonus or a first product or something that you can offer for free. Hey, you're going to start a food truck. Wonderful. Here is a free guide or a PDF to help you understand how you can set up a little test kitchen in your own home to serve to your friends and how to collect feedback from them so you know what kind of food to put on your truck. You see what I did there? I started with the food truck and then I worked backwards all the way to, okay, well, this is potentially one of the first steps that you need to do. So it helps us inform a number of different decisions that we can make and potential other products that we could promote or create for ourselves to help these people. So with the goals that you wrote down on the left-hand side, corresponding to each of them, if you can and you have an idea of what those things are, write down the first step that a person might need to help them get to that goal. Now, when you're finished with that or you've come to a decent stopping point, let's move on to exercise number 3. Find products in your target market that align with the goals that your audience has. Now, we did a lot of the pre-work, the why and the first steps, which is great. Now, when you, in this next exercise, create this list of products, they can be some of the first steps, they can be later steps down the road. It's just important to now do kind of a brain dump and a research dump of everything that's out there that you can find so that you can see what you have to work with. Now, I'm going to teach you how to catalog these things for use further in this course in just a moment. But before that, 2 quick rules that are really important to understand as you are about to do your research. Number 1, don't worry about whether or not these products have an affiliate program tied to them yet or not. Sometimes they're very obvious and you can see a link on the bottom of their page that says affiliate program or referral program. Sometimes they're not there. Sometimes they're buried in a website. Sometimes they don't even live on a website and you have to ask, and sometimes they don't even exist. Let's not worry about that right now. Right now, our goal is to find products that actually are helpful to your audience. We'll worry about that stuff later. And number 2, don't worry about whether or not you can actually imagine yourself promoting these things to your audience or not. You're just kind of getting a discovery of what's out there. It's like panning for gold, right? When you pan for gold, you just suck up a bunch of dirt and gravel and whatever, and then you swish it around, and as you swish it around, the dirt and the bad stuff starts to leave, and it leaves you with the gold in the end. That's what we're doing here. We're finding all the stuff that's out there, and we're gonna narrow it down to the stuff that makes sense to promote to your audience. Now, I created a Google spreadsheet to help you organize and catalog this information as you find it. That's gonna be very useful for us as we move forward into this course. Now, to get access to this, all you have to do is below in the resources section, you can pause and do this after I talk about how to do this in just a moment, or wait till the end of this video. But on the link below, click on the link to go and get this spreadsheet. And when you open it, it's gonna be my spreadsheet. It's gonna be locked. What you need to do is go to File and then make a copy so that you can have it on your own drive. And what that enables you to do is it enables you to edit it and to have it as your own. Because if I didn't do that, we'd all have access to the same one and it would be just kind of a weird mess. So make sure to go in there, click on the link below to get access to the spreadsheet, click on File, make a copy, save it as your own, and you'll notice that there are 4 columns there for your use. The first column is product name. The second column is the URL or the web address where that product lives online. Third column is the price, which is just we're collecting information as we're doing this research at the same time. And number 4, just for your own use, the type of product it is, whether it's a physical product or a digital product. There's a lot more information we can learn about these products, but we don't have to get ourselves too overwhelmed quite at this point. But just the product, the URL, the price, and also the type, physical or digital. I'll be tasking you to add more columns and things later in this course down the road, which will be very easy for you to do, but we'll worry about that when we come to it. For now, this spreadsheet will do. All right, did you get that spreadsheet already? If not, pause, go and grab that spreadsheet, have it open on another window or another tab, and then we can get started. Here's how this is gonna work. I'm gonna prompt you with specific instructions in terms of how to do your research, and as you come across these findings, catalog them, put the information in as much as you can. You might not be able to fill out every single bubble or cell there in your spreadsheet. Just do your best, and again, step by step, I'll walk you through the process, so let's get started. The first instruction I have for you is without doing any research on a computer or going to Google or Amazon or checking on your device, just based on the knowledge that's in your head right now, if there are any results, write down and catalog the products that already exist in this market to help your audience achieve some of these goals that you now know about. Some of you might have dozens in your mind of things that you already use perhaps. Some of you may have come across these products in the past too. Now, you might not know the price points or the URL for those things right now, so just start with the product list and you can fill out those things later. But just, again, number 1, start with what you know in your head, dump it into the spreadsheet, and then we can go on from there. Now, if you only know the kind of product, but not necessarily the brand name, or maybe they're more a collection of kinds of products, that's okay too. You can just write that down. Again, it's just important for you to have these listed somewhere in any way out of your head into this spreadsheet. So for example, if we are targeting food truck owners, we obviously know that food truck owners need a list of kitchen appliances. I don't know the brand names or even the various types of kitchen appliances, so I'm just gonna write down kitchen appliances and just leave the rest of the columns blank. Okay, now we're gonna start doing research on a computer or a device to find even more things that are out there that can serve this target audience or that are out there actually trying to serve this target audience. Again, we don't need to know if they're in affiliate programs or if they're even selling. We just need to know that these things are out there. Okay, next we're gonna add to this spreadsheet and the list of products by actually doing some research on places like Google. So let's start with Google. Type in keywords related to the goals that those people have or the niche that you're in and see what pops up. Now the first thing I would do is look at the top or the side of your results page to see if any companies are paying for ads to try and get in front of you for those specific keywords. Those are great signs that, okay, those are products that are being sold. You can click through and actually, or just go directly to those websites and determine, okay, well, what is it that they're selling and for how much? In addition to that, some of the top search results may give you some interesting findings too. So click on to those and see if those are websites or blogs or other places where there might be products that are being promoted as advertisements on the sidebar, as a banner, on a link inside there. See if there's anything being sold to you, and that'll give you, again, an insight on, okay, well, what is kind of being offered in this market that you're in already. Now, a great place to find products that you could find for your particular audience is to find where your audience already exists on places like blogs. A lot of bloggers love to promote products, some of their own, some of other people's, on their blogs to their people. So let's find some blogs. To do that, all you have to do very simply is go to Google, type in blog, and then a keyword or that goal or whatever. Explore a little bit. From there, you'll find a number of blogs pop up in the search results, and from there, you can look up to see, well, what people might have to offer. Another cool thing you could do is type in affiliate, and then a keyword or that goal. And that might pop up some interesting affiliate programs that are already available, which is good because then now you know you could potentially sign up for these versus other ones that may not have an apparent affiliate program to sign up to. So type in affiliate, and then keyword or a different goal, try different words and see what comes up, and you might have some opportunities to write down even more products that you find too. Now, an obvious place to go and find products that you could potentially promote would be Amazon, so you can go and check out Amazon too. So type in keywords or, based on your knowledge about that niche, what items might this particular audience buy or get involved with. Also look at, well, what items relate to that item that you found, or people who bought this also bought that. Again, just gives you insight. You're gonna start to fill in this spreadsheet. It's gonna get kind of long, which is okay. That's a great thing because it becomes a laundry list of items that you can choose from later on. We'll help filter all this down in the next lesson, so don't worry if it goes too big. Don't worry if you can't fill out all the cells, and just do your best. Books and physical products, software, all those kinds of things are fair game for you to potentially promote and definitely to add to this list. Now, I'd also recommend that you get creative with your searches too, on Google, on marketplaces like Amazon. I'm gonna leave you on your own for now, and when you're comfortable and ready, you can move on to the next lesson, but before that, just a few more important items to share. Now, I want you to do your best and write down as many as you can. Let's say you're approaching 100 or even 200 if you're an overachiever, which is totally cool, right? You might be overwhelmed, like, wow, there's already a lot being offered in this space. I completely understand that thinking, but I want you to reframe that thinking to this. Wow, there's a market where people are buying things already. Somebody has to come in and organize this to show the best things, and that's gonna be you. Now, if you come at this and you're having a hard time finding products, that might be a good sign that, okay, well, we're gonna have to dig even a little bit deeper, so you might need to spend a little bit more time finding personalities, blogs, podcasts, YouTube channels to see, well, okay, well, what's being recommended there too. But just do your best. Don't worry if there are holes. Just try to fill out as many items as you can. And then once you're done, sit back, look, and see, wow, I have an eye on this market, a better view than most people do. You have a top-down perspective of what's being offered in this space, which is not just helpful for you in the affiliate marketing game, but in the future, perhaps if you're going to create products of your own too. Now you have an eye on what's being offered, what those price points are, and what holes are potentially missing so you can come in and create something of your own. Now that's for later, right? Remember, affiliate marketing is great. These products already exist in this market. Many of them have affiliate programs tied to them. Let's see how we can push these in front of our audience and show them that these are great for them. But before that, of course, we need to narrow down these things into the good ones. Again, remember, we're panning for gold here, so that's what we're gonna do in the next lesson. So complete these 3 sort of mini exercises here in this lesson, and once you're done and comfortable, I'll see you in the next one. Great job, guys. We're off to the races.